Mark Crossfield here, Golf Swing Weekly Fix Time every Tuesday nights. I'm talking hip turn, tilts, bends, sways, talking about your hips, certainly in the backswing, how that might influence your downswing and club deliveries. Let's get stuck in. So hip turn, I mean, I remember distinctly being taught and thinking of it as a young coach that you're going to turn around your right knee that stays flexed, hip turn on the backswing, quite minimal, those kind of ideas. Now, look, there are some golfers who do similar ideas to that. You won't see many people maintain the flex in their right knee. Nearly all world-class players are going to have a little bit of straightening of that right knee, and lots have a lot. I am much more now as a coach getting people to use their hips, turn their hips and tilt their hips, loads more right knee straightening, even left foot coming up. Not as worried as I ever used to think it was, because so many good players are proving that it's a movement that they can make for power, and it allows them to strike the ball really well. It's quite obvious if you think about it. Nicholas made no secret of it in his motion. Arnold Palmer, you've got loads of great golfers doing it. So where we ever got to this situation of maintaining right knee flex and limiting how much your hip turn comes from, actually, if you think about it logically, I'm not quite sure how we ever got there. I think, again, it's that feeling of doing a lot less, keeping everything really simple, isn't it? Where, well, so certainly from Tiger Woods' era onwards, it's about trying to smash it a long way a lot more, isn't it? Which I think right knee straightening, left leg moving, turning your hips a lot more might help you feel like you're going to create a bit more speed. So look, think about it this way for golfers. I see a lot of golfers trying to hold on to not much hip turn, so keep the hips relatively stable, and we tend to see quite a big kick out with their hips. So as they turn, not trying to turn the hips upper body, everything gives and they start giving it this kind of big swaying action. This action is very good if you want to start that downswing with a steepening of the handle, so the head coming over the hand path, which is great for hitting down and to the left and suffering from those kind of curves off to the right, or even pull, subject to how you control that face to path. And it really makes it hard for people to control the dynamic lie, which is a real problem with golfers. So I work with students, the more and more I work with students trying to get their right hip to feel like it goes backwards, so left knee comes forward, so we see hip turn and tilt with their hips, I start to see a much better influence on the downswing, as long as they're dynamic enough in trying to get the shaft to actually flatten out on the downswing, so come down below that hand path. Because what happens is I start to turn that right hip back, put a little bit of tilt in to hit the ball. I'm going to turn back to the left and try and get my left hip higher. That's a great way of trying to get that shaft flattening down, which only encourages a better path, certainly gets rid of the high handle issues that you see from so many golfers. Simple idea. Set yourself to the ball, hit a few shots where you feel like your right hip is just pushing back. Don't be afraid to let that left leg come forward, right leg lock out a little bit. Also, as you do that, don't be afraid to do it quite kind of aggressively. See what kind of happens to your strike, your shot shapes when you really start pushing this back, straightening this, even letting your left foot come up and then turning through. Because what you're going to try and do with that hip turn, like I say, is you're going to rotate your hips as they tilt naturally. Then on the downswing, you're going to start rotating them back and hopefully tilting the other way. Left pocket getting higher than right. Like I say, that's a great way of flattening that head down underneath that hand path to get that club flinging out to the ball and getting much more neutral pass. So many golfers and so many students for years, including myself when I was young, fought and felt trying to maintain turn into that right knee flex. I see so many people doing that and just getting a big kick out. Like I say, that's great for encouraging that kind of down and to the left path, which does plague so many golfers. Don't be afraid to let the right knee straighten, left leg come forward. Don't be afraid to push that hip back from the start. Feel like it's just pushing back. I think you'll hit some much straighter and better golf shots. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Periscope, all the normal social places. Also, come and visit my new website, markcrossfieldgolf.com. See you over there.